What's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, is Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man that, well, folks, he's got all ego, apparently, and he's jelly tonight.
Evolution is a mystery. I don't know any Jelly Roll songs, so. There's that one he always sings that. No fucking idea.
I don't know any Jelly Roll. That is a tough sell for me. He's a very entertaining guy, but I don't know much of his stuff. So
it's a tag match. We'll get to that, bro. It's
all right, bro.
We got a lot to talk about Nestlemania. We're gonna start with Saturday Night Main Event. Then we're gonna talk about Evolution. Then we're gonna get into the shine and the heat and the hope and the comeback and the finish. Don't worry. We'll be talking about All Elite Wrestling, All In, their biggest show of the year, and even a little bit of NXT Great American Bash, because as I said, Oligo, and then Blake Monroe. I mean, she's gonna come up in Evolution, but Nestlemania, Saturday Night Main Event. We're not going to start in the main event, though. We're going to start off, and we're probably pissed through these early ones. Randy beats Drew in a pretty solid match.
Look, I thought it was great. I thought it was a solid match. Not many things going on here. Jelly Roll pushes Paul during that. I think the thing is there's one thing I'm sure you could sell me on, but
we want to talk about Jelly Roll here.
Yeah, sure. Let's
start the whole thing here.
Okay, so the Jelly Roll thing happened on Friday, right? There was a supposed, concert that got cut off by Logan Paul, which I think was great, calling him an outsider.
Great piece of business.
Saying he's an outsider. Thought that was wonderful. Thought that was hilarious. Randy Orton losing his fucking mind was great. And of course, it just kind of happened. And then, out comes the Claymore, which I was impressed by Jelly Roll to take the bump so quickly. So kudos to him. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised with Jelly Roll. I mean, he's not for me. Like, I don't know him. I don't know his music. I know that he's a big star, and that's helpful for the WWE. So I'm all for that, and I hope the guy does well, especially for someone like me who's been a lifelong fan. To see somebody that's a celebrity that's a lifelong fan that wants to do this, and not a celebrity who takes a bump and rolls over and goes, "Can I just be the special guest ref or be the ring announcer?" This guy wants to do it. All power to him. So I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people do.
Well, they're fucking losers. Like, it's one of those things. Like, it's the same thing with like Bad Bunny and Logan Paul. Like, these guys love it. They want to do it, and they don't just want to half-ass it. Like, did you listen to Triple H's press conference all after Evolution? Mm-hmm. He had nothing but good things to say about Jelly Roll. Apparently, ever since Jelly Roll is like Triple H's been in position, every time he sees him, he's like, "Hey, I want to get in the ring. I want to do this. You watch. I'm going to lose this weight." And to his credit, he's lost a shit ton of weight. He looks great. He's apparently been down at the Performance Center all week. He's been going out of there, and then he leaves for his concerts, but that's been his hub, Triple H said, for pretty much a while now. So, he's putting in the work. We know Randy Orton loves this guy. He's been on record saying that. So, he's excited about it. And it's one of those things, like, I do believe Triple H when he says Drew is too, because it's one of those things, like, if you're not main eventing or fighting for the title, what do you want to be involved in? The fucking match that's going to get all the attention with the celebrity. And this is becoming more of a commonplace thing. And like before, it's like you said, yeah, when we would have people come on, like they weren't really into it, and sometimes it was forced. Not anymore. These people that are coming on, these celebrities, like they want to be part of the show because they think it's fucking cool. And as a fan, you should think that's fucking cool that these megastars are interested in our fucking world and they're one of us. And just like being against it, it's just like, look, at SummerSlam's 2 nights, dude. He's not taking anybody's spot. It's one of those things. It's like, this is a fun match. Is it going to be like the best part of the show? I highly doubt it, but it's entertaining. It's going to get attention. It's a cool thing for Randy and Drew to be involved in when they're not fighting for titles. And it's an interesting thing having Logan Paul taking on another celebrity. So there's a lot of layers here. It's good stuff. This was going to be in my shine. But like, I think it's a good piece of business here that WWE is doing. And if you're against it, then you're fucking short-sighted. Go watch All In then and fucking jerk off to the Rizzler, because you probably did do that, you fucking frauds.
Man.
Who?
Joe saying my fear is that Machine Gun Kelly is going to show up. Machine Gun Kelly I don't think is as relevant anymore.
Kevin Owens killed him.
Yes, he did. Yeah. KO, we love you. Hope you're feeling better. But so is there any more of the Jelly Roll stuff? Are you good?
Well, next up, put him up, Nestlemania. Solo Sikoa defeats Jimmy Uso to retain his United States Championship. Yeah, I love Solo. So I love you, Solo.
I thought that Solo did a great job here. And I just want to make sure that people understand this, because I think like this can kind of transpire into Friday as well, because it's whatever. But like Solo does such a great job making other people like in the way that like he's going out of his way to be the bad guy, so the other person gets cheered. And like people that normally don't get like the bigger reactions get bigger reactions because they're dealing with Solo, because he's sticking to the idea of what he is. So I just think like he's the unsung hero of this year, I think, in my opinion. especially in this back half so far. I guess the last couple 3 months here. Anyway, I just think he's wonderful, and I just think that everything worked out perfectly there for him. And then of course we have Jacob with the stare off with Tala, which was great. Which I don't know who I like better, if it's Tala or everybody's favorite goofball, but it is what it is. But is he wearing? No, you missed the intros, JC.
No, so don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. But yes, I am wearing all elite merchandise. We'll get to the full reveal later in the program. But yes, I'm wearing all elite merchandise today. But you'll see why eventually. But yeah, no, I mean, you know how I feel about Solo. I've been fucking beating the drum for this guy for like a year and a half. When he had to take the mantle from Roman, like he's an absolute fucking stud. He deserves his flowers. And again, if you fucking little dorks on the internet can't see that, then I got nothing for you. Next up, Nestlemania is the title that you have in this program. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Yeah, but actually, oh no, because Seth got hurt here. Who knows? They obviously called an audible here with LA Knight picking up the win because I doubt he was supposed to. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. But look, you know how I feel about Seth, and you know how I come in this program and complain about him every week. But like, that doesn't mean I don't have an immense amount of respect for this guy. And you saw why on Saturday. This dude knows he had a devastating fucking knee injury. And his first focus was, no, I'm putting this motherfucker over. We're finishing this match. Let me get up, take a BFT, lay on the mat, look at the lights, and then I'll deal with my injury. Like, most people don't do that. The doctors don't want you to do that. But Seth Rollins, like, this dude's married to the game. He is what you want in the company. There's a reason why he gets the opportunities that he does, because he works his ass off. He does what he's told and then some. So I just want to put that out there. Like, because look, I come on this program, I make fun of him every week, and I still would. Like, honestly, like, this might be a fucking blessing in disguise for Seth, because he's going to go away for a while. And when he comes back, fucking swinging that briefcase, it's going to be an incredible moment, however long it takes. But I just really wanted to point out how much, like, respect it does. Because, like, to just do that, like, it's like you have this devastating injury. He's probably in a ton of pain. He's pissed off. But his first focus is like, no, we're fucking finishing this match. I'm putting this guy over. Something's come out. But you can tell the way LA Knight reacted, how pissed he was about it too. But it's just like, it is what it is. Like, we say it all the time, Nestlemania. It's not ballet. Real injuries happen sometimes. These are super athletes, but they're still not susceptible. They're still susceptible to getting hurt. So sucks for Seth. Not so speedy recovery, but when you come back, it will be pretty cool.
I will say this much. And we'll talk about it more in our hope as we talk about the discussion of what may transpire here. What are the other avenues since this is happening? And we don't know specifics of how long he's going to be out. But my original thought here, and I think you guys thought I was crazy, which was I thought that this might have been a work because of having WWE Unreal. And they need to show certain things that happen and don't happen in that Netflix series. Now, clearly, I'm most likely wrong, but it is interesting to me that, like, like we haven't seen what the Unreal series is. I think it's coming out either this week or next week. So I'll be curious to see what kind of things they have there. But something like this, one way or another, I believe there is a second season. I bet you that this is a topic, regardless whether it's a work or it actually happened in real life.
I didn't think it was a work when it happened just because of the way it transpired, but I think what happened on Monday kind of confirmed that, like, whether we're going to call that a panic move or like, oh shit, like, it's one of those things, like, Roman and Seth were going to be involved likely in some capacity at SummerSlam. So they're kind of having to audible that. So that's why I thought Seth might have been scheduled to win here. So he'd look good going into Monday when you put him up. Came back, which we'll get to. But yeah, no, this seemed like as real as it gets. But wouldn't it be something? I mean, well, like you said, we'll talk about it in the hope, and I'll save it for that. But wouldn't it be something if something transpired at SummerSlam? But not holding my breath on that one. Main event.
Main event. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's save it because you already teased it. We're not doing the hopes. So we got to stop talking about it, or else we're gonna fucking blow our loads. Da-na-na-na. For the final time in the Reign Nestlemania in front of his hometown, Goldberg wrestled a fucking wrestling match. That was the shocker of the night to me, is that Goldberg wrestled an actual match against Gunther. Look it's a Goldberg match, but I thought he held his own. For a dude who's 58 years old with fucking terrible fucking knees, to do that, I was impressed. And yeah, Gunther got the win. You go out on your back. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what happened. So I was happy with it.
So we can talk about what Bill had said today at Ariel in a little bit if you really want to, because that got us hot and bothered in the JK chat.
I'll stop defending Goldberg when we get to that part.
Yes,
I like to have fun defending Goldberg, but no, I can't anymore because fucking guy.
All right, so let's just stick to the match really quickly. I think personally, as a fan, this was one of the longer matches that Bill's probably ever had, and I want to make sure that we do not lose focus of this. I would like to give my flowers to Gunther. Because when I watched this match, the amount of effort that he was putting in to move around for him to make the illusion that Bill Goldberg was okay and not injured or not hurt in some way or just old or just didn't have it, whatever the case may be, the amount of effort and the amount of talent and skill that Gunther has is bar none one of the best things I've ever seen. We can say what he is with his chops and how he is in the ring or whatever, and like he's a good heel. As a human being, I thought this was an incredibly classy thing for him to do. He literally, and I'm not saying this to make, and this is the headline, I'm sure people are going to say Nestle said this, but it literally felt like Gunther was wrestling a broom and made the broom look better than he could. Like, that's what it felt like when I was watching it, because Goldberg couldn't do anything. And like, they went out of their way. Every little intricacy of, you watch the match back, that is a match to study. If you want to know how to make somebody who's not a wrestler every week and making them look good, that is the match you show somebody. That is the match that you show somebody on how to be better at your job than anybody else. Gunther is a class of his own. I am not like against Gunther in any way. He's not a Nestle guy, but I will say this much. When I saw that, the respect factor went through the roof because Gunther is one of a kind, being able to do that on a high level in an intense situation with a guy, let's be honest, who probably can't really wrestle anyway when he was at 100%. To make him look as good as he did a fantastic job. And if I'm Bill Goldberg, I'm buying that man a fucking steak. And I'm taking him out to dinner and I'm saying thank you.
Yeah, but instead he went on Helwani's show today and cried like a little bitch. Look, like his speech getting cut off, it sucks, but this wasn't a PLA. It was Saturday night's main event. There's a hard out time. Like,
so before we get into it, for the people that don't know television, because you and I and Ray, we were going at it, right? And of course, so can you explain to somebody, because you have a better understanding of it than most people, can you explain
my life? Unfortunately,
I know. Can you literally explain to somebody, if you had to guess, because you don't know for sure, if you had to guess, the match may have gone long. They had to do a commercial break to get him back in the ring. There is a hard out time for Cable. Go ahead.
It's the fact, like the fact that shit like this doesn't happen more often tells you how fucking good these people are. That's why when it does happen, I'll cut them slack, because as someone who does live TV shows, like it's my fucking job. It's especially when you're dealing with different moving parts and like it's just like a live thing. There's nothing especially like this, like it's an event. Like timing can sometimes get away from you, and you have to do things to try to catch up and make up time. But my best guess for this scenario is, could they have planned for this a little better? Maybe. But my best guess is that whether it was something earlier in the night, whether because of Seth injury, like it took a little longer there, but I would think that would cut it short. But judging by how long this main event match went and what Goldberg even alluded to it, my guess is the match went a little longer than they expected it would. And by the time they got it, they're like, oh shit. The thing with you're on television, there are hard out times. And that's why you see sometimes when you're watching a program, it just gets cut off, because there are paid advertisements that have to air at an exact time. So if you don't time it perfectly, then you're going to get cut off. And that's what obviously happened here with Goldberg's speech. Whether he thinks it's intentional or not, like whatever, I highly doubt it, but you never know. But it just there's the hard out time. And if you don't hit that hard out time, it gets cut off and it looks bad. Believe me, I've worked on plenty of shows where it happens. It's just sometimes you just can't help it. It just happens, whether it's a talent taking too long to do something, or it just like something doesn't fire or something's ready. It's just like, it is what it is. It's live television. So that's the difference between this and a PLE, where they could just stay on it and just go as long as they wanted. Like if this was just a Peacock thing, it would, but since it was on NBC, they had a hard out time because they have something else coming up at 10 o'clock. So they have to get there. I think it was like 57 was the off time. They have to get in their exact 3 minutes of break before they come up with the next thing. So, obviously if you didn't see Goldberg's stuff on Helwani, it was weird because I actually watched the clips because the headlines make it look way worse than it was. He obviously wasn't happy about it, but he did make sure to say over and over again, he's like, look, I am so happy that I got this opportunity. I am so happy of where I got this opportunity. There are a lot of things I would have done differently, but neither of those things are it. And he's like, look, I am pissed that I got cut off. And he's like, I think it was them ribbing me because that's just how he thinks. He's always thought that way, that they have it out for him. But he did also say, he's like, what I get, 28 seconds? He's like, look it, I am so grateful for those 28 seconds because most guys don't get that. So it was one of those things where he was kind of teetering back and forth. But like, obviously the headlines look worse. But look, it is what it is, man. Does he want to be on a PLE? Sure. But guess what, Bill? If this match was on a PLE, it ain't fucking main eventing. And it might not be for a title. So I think by doing it the way they did, and this was kind of my argument leading up, they did it on a Saturday night main event. It was the main attraction of the show. They did it in the town where he loves and he's from and all that shit. So I don't know. It's like he said he's going to run his mouth again in a couple weeks. But for me, it's just like, it is what it is, dude. You had your moment. Eventually they got it up on the internet later that night or the next day, whatever you guys were talking about. So if you want to watch it, you can see it. But look it. Live TV shit, man. Shit goes wrong every fucking time. And sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. This time you saw it. Is what it is.
So my gripe wasn't with the television getting cut off because again, we've worked together in television. I know what happens. I've seen it happen. I've laughed. It is what it is. Live television, like you said, live television. I think for me, I look at it like, here's my thought process, right? And this is just me. You had how many matches? You had you could have
four. There's only four.
You could have cut completely the solo match.
No, fuck you.
You could have cut the Naomi and Jade brawl with Bianca Belair.
Nah.
But I'm just saying,
your dad was a special guest referee. That was necessary.
No, I'm just saying there's
the formula for the show though. It's 4 matches in a second.
I know. I'm just saying I'm not worried about the television cut ending. What I said to them was, you would think that they've done this enough times to kind of figure out where they want to be. And that, to me, it was more of an injustice to me that it wasn't up right after, because, and Ray was trying to do detective work because Ray's a homer and that's fine. And I love Ray, but it said July 13th. So that was at least a day. He can say it was at midnight. He has no fucking clue. Unless somebody
you've edited before though, some of that stuff.
I understand,
and you gotta change the format for the internet. You gotta get approval to air it. You gotta put on the little graphic stuff. You gotta do all this. There's a million steps, so it's not instant. And I saw Joe say it on Hulu Live, they could do without an ad. The thing that I was trying to say in the chat, and it's a very hard thing to grasp because it doesn't make sense. But since this was an NBC thing, it was being streamed on Peacock and Hulu. But that doesn't mean Peacock and Hulu have any control. They are literally just taking what happened on NBC and they are just airing it as that because that's what they're supposed to do. That's the licensing. That's how it works. This is how cable stays relevant. All this stuff is in the contracts, even if it's your own streamer like Peacock is. Because it's just one of those things. You take what it is, and when they end, you end. And the re-airs for them, it stays like that. Because I know you had said, "I'll maybe edit it in." There is some weird fucking shit because we see it with some of the stuff we do sometimes. It's just a way that cable is more protected. And this being the whole point of this is a cable entity on NBC. They just put it on Peacock because NBC owns it and they want more people to actually be able to see it. But the idea of it is they want you to watch it as is. So yeah, could they have got it up on the internet a little sooner? Probably, but I don't know. It was up by the end of the night, or the next morning. So it just when it would do better anyways, but it is what it is. Look, this shit happens. In a perfect world, who knows? Maybe Goldberg's right. Maybe this was Triple H and company giving him one final rib. Even though if you watch fucking the Evolution post show, he fucking started an all-woman show talking about you, Bill, and praising you and fucking sucking you off. So I don't know. Just give me a break, dude. And my big takeaway is I think him and Bret Hart need to start a podcast together because they're both whiny little bitches. And you know what, Bret? You've made Goldberg way more relevant than he ever was because all you do is fucking talk about him. So you two should get on a fucking podcast, call it Whiny Little Bitches. That thing, I'd fucking listen to that because it would be fucking hilarious to listen to those two fucking morons just fucking bitch and complain about shit. So there you go. Let's pitch you an idea. There's your new Fanatics podcast. Bret Hart and Goldberg. We bitch about shit.
Oh, man. Oh God, no! I appreciate the education. I'm sure everybody else appreciates get Nestle on that body. Listen, I love Bret Hart, but I listen. Even I will admit that Bret Hart, even though I'm a Bret Hart guy through and through, that guy is miserable, and I hope I never meet him someday because it'll break my heart. Goldberg,
he's a wonderful person to meet.
I know. I honestly, I hope he is because I hope
my old roommate did an 8-hour car ride with him, and he had the time of his life. They were just talking
and smoking weed, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, look, I'll say this much about Bill. I think he's a very intense human being. So I don't think he cared about it. I think someone got in his ear and told him that kind of stuff. And now he believes that stuff, which I think is kind of like yelling into a fucking canyon at that point. Cause it's just like, Bill, if you just took a second, like the Cody thing didn't need to be on television anyway. Like Cody didn't really say anything that important in terms of like the context of what he said.
Yeah, that was just for the crowd and for Bill. You send out the company guide for the representing the company, being like, "We love you, Bill."
But no, it's just like it's tough because like I understand the upsetness of getting cut off, but if you even look, they waited to get like to a full sentence. They didn't cut the guy off in mid sentence. They're like, "Thank you, boom, good night." So like, I understand whatever he said at the end was fine, but it's just like I understand his thought process of like you wouldn't do that to Taker, you wouldn't do that to Cena, and I was just like,
well, because they'd be main event in a fucking PLE, bro. Because you're not Undertaker and you're not Cena. Like, come on.
I think Bertsky has a very interesting point. Who's going to tell him he's not in that class?
I mean, I'm not going to tell him that, but it's like I thought the way they did this, I thought was like it was a beautiful way to do it for him.
Sure,
it just like he was the centerpiece of the show. Because again, if they had his last match of SummerSlam, Nestlemania, this shit ain't main event, and it's probably not even kicking off. It's probably somewhere in the middle, or it's the piss break before the main event. You know what I mean? And it's just overshadowed. But instead, like it was all about him for one night, until the ladies came the next night. But it was just like they made it about you, bro. Like this was centered around you. Ticket sales were around you. Posters were around you. You fought for the title against one of the biggest stars in the company. Like, and you had an actual match against them. So I think as time ages, like he'll come to that again. But I can understand, like, obviously for him, like, yeah, you're a little frustrated. I'd be a little frustrated too. But at the end of the day, like it is what it is. And that's why I think like a lot of the times when you see headlines from podcasts and stuff, I always try to make an effort to actually listen to at least the clips in those portions, because they all like the whole point of the internet is to fucking grab the worst part of it and stamp it on. And the problem is then people just run with that because they don't fucking actually listen to the fucking content. So that's just one thing. That's something I always do. I always listen to the content because it's like, okay, he does feel this way, but at the same time, like he's also equally grateful. So I think everything always needs context. Like that's how it always is. That's why you can't sum shit up in words. And you know, like it is what it is. That's what the internet is, especially on Twitter. It's a fucking cesspool. So, but you know, what can you do?
Overall, did you enjoy Saturday night's main event?
It was fine.
Last question before we move.
I enjoyed Sunday's show a lot better.
I was going to say, the other thing I want to say very quickly, is there a chance that Bill's so frustrated he goes to AEW?
I don't think so, because I think it was one of those things like Tony was trying to get him to wrestle, and Goldberg probably was just like trying to work something out with WWE here. And they're like, look, we will give you one final ride. We want you to do it here. We'd rather have you do it here. And I think he would rather do it here. And it was probably one of those things. They probably tried to do it in Saudi, and he was probably like, so I think this is how they came to it. And so, like he said, he was happy about the venue and all that and that, but it seemed like he wanted to change the story a little bit. That's, I think, what he was like aiming at or whatever. But
I don't know. Whatever. I don't understand the NDA thing, but whatever.
Who knows? I don't need. If you watch the clips, he looks like he's on fucking drugs. He's just he's like all over the place, not making eye contact. So I don't pretend what goes on in his poor CTE head.
All right, let's move on.
Move on, Nestlemania, to the. I will say this. I am going to say this. The best PLE of 2025, WWE Evolution, fair or foul.
Oh, it's to me. I mean, you can have AEW people say all in, but I think personally,
it was definitely the best WWE PLE of the year.
I think it was definitely the best WWE PLE of the year. Absolutely. I would even go as far as I would say going as far as it's probably the best pay-per-view I've seen from top to bottom in the last 2 years.
I will say, like, bell to bell, like, there was nothing on this card that was bad or a down. There were things that I expected to be bad, and they well exceeded my expectations. Because even on shows that we love, like, we can point to, like, oh, there's great stuff. There's usually some stuff. Like, so I think one of the nights of WrestleMania I mostly liked, but there were one or two downers. This had no downers. And there were certainly opportunities to be downers, but that's why I thought this was so cool, because every single person who got the opportunity to wrestle on this card or perform on this card treated it like it was the most important thing, and they brought their A game, and I thought it was really fucking cool. And so let's get right into it, Nestlemania. We kick it off with hashtag my main event, the match I was most looking forward to. I would have called it the match of the night till the main event, because, oh boy, we'll get to that one. But Becky steals the win in an absolute banger to kick off the show against Lyra and Bayley. This was beautiful. This is exactly what I was hoping it would be. These three women were absolute studs. The crowd was fucking on fire for Lyra and Bailey, which they were on fire all night, which I thought was cool. But because you could tell this was a real wrestling crowd, because if you're a wrestling fan going to an all-woman show, you are a true wrestling fan. It weeds out the losers and the nerds who like to do stupid shit because they're not going to pay for it. So you had an authentic wrestling crowd, and we saw the big pops for the wrestlers all night. I thought that was cool, but this was a great way to kick off the show.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was surprised. I just love the pin combination at the end. I thought that was really super tricky and lovely. There were a lot of things in here that I thought, I will say this much. As I'm watching Lyra, the crowd's starting to get more and more behind her, which is always nice to see. She's one of our favorites, obviously. We say all the time there's
this
something
feud
about
did wonders for her.
There's something about Lyra, as we always say. But as I was watching this, I think I tweeted it, but it definitely is something that I want to talk about, JC, is as much as Bailey is amazing, and as much as Bailey is a founding, mother of the evolution, so to speak, it just feels like I'm waiting for her to evolve. And I'm not saying this in a mean way, but it feels like there needs to, I'm not comparing her to Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho is the example of, he finds another role. He finds another evolution to his character. He adds something. I feel like I'm waiting for Bailey to do something else now. I want to see another iteration of Bailey to evolve, no pun intended, to get to a point where everybody can stop hating on her or giving her shit. Because I feel like she's very good. She's one of the best in the world, but it's just something's not connecting here. And at least for me, in the ring, there's nothing wrong. It's just the in-between for me feels like there's less than, and that's unfortunate considering how wonderful and good she really, truly is.
I think she's shown a nice edge, like in this feud. It's been a nice thing. Like her and Lyra going back and forth, I think has been really fun because they've both been a little edgier. But it's weird with Bailey because anytime you get a performer that's been around this long, like that's always a thing. Like it is what it is. And I think part of it is on them, but I think part of it is on the company. I think a guy like Seth Rollins is able to get all these opportunities because he's given them. Like it's one of those things. Like I think Jericho was always given an opportunity, being like, "You're going to be in this big thing," and he'd like go and grab it. Bailey's been kind of a weird case because remember, she was a mega heel, then won the Rumble, turned babyface against Io, won the title, which was an incredible moment. That was a character change. That was a year and a half ago at this point. And then it was just like we talked about that title reign. It's like they just like felt like they didn't feature her at all. And it just like that title, that's kind of how it's been on SmackDown, the women's title. But especially with her, like it was just like, huh. And then she lost it. And then she was just kind of there. And she's mostly been kind of there. And it's been weird because they started to tease like the heel turn thing, like when she was kind of teaming with Naomi. Then obviously we didn't know Naomi to attack. We're like, oh, maybe she'll be involved in it. Then they wasn't. They shipped her over to Raw. And in Raw, she was just kind of in purgatory again. And I think this is the first time she's really had an opportunity to like do a little something, being like coming back after Becky stole her spot and going after Becky, and then now having this rivalry with Lyra as well. But yeah, it's one of those things I think, and Triple H kind of alluded to this too when he's talked about Bailey, is just like she's just so good at her job that sometimes those people just get asked to like be good at their job. And I think that's why like I love the moment for her a year and a half ago, is because it was like, okay, we're going to feature you. But I think she's back to in that position where it's just like, yeah, you're good. You're reliable. We're going to pull you out when we need you. But, you know, as you see here, we're back to Lyra Becky one-on-one. Bailey was just kind of a potholder. So I think it's one of those things like, could she do more? Probably. Absolutely. Definitely. Because there are plenty of people who maximize their minutes. But I think it's also like the position she is in is a very tough one too.
Okay.
Next up, we have Nestlemania. And look it. Obviously, she made her debut on a Great American Bash the day before. But Blake Monroe cost Jordynne Grace the title against JC Jane. This was also a very good match. The NXT woman brought it. As we expected, JC and Jordynne seem to have great chemistry, but obviously the big moment was the one we were all expecting, with Blake Monroe hitting Jordynne in the back as she went for it and helping JC retain, and then handing JC the title later. Look, you know how we feel about Mariah May on this program, and I think Blake Monroe, we're like, she needs to be a heel as soon as possible, and they didn't fucking waste any time. Nestlemania, we're full speed ahead, baby, and her and Jordynne, they had a couple 2 weeks of fun with the little vignettes, but it's time for Blake to do what Blake does, and that's to be a heel.
Are you my little muscle muffin?
It's so good. So good.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun on NXT to watch this happen. I feel like this is, as much as we've talked about how great, the crop of women, have been and continue to be, There's something about Blake versus Jordan that just screams like this could be a feud of the year. If it's like there's an inciting incident right now, right? Like she turned on her. So now we know like there's a build. We know this is probably going to be more than one match. It's going to be probably a heat wave or something. Like we'll find. I just think it's really, really, really fun. Again, I think JC Jane deserves a lot of credit too. I will say this much. And this was going to be my hope before you and I had discussed something, what we're going to do in the hope in general. But when I was thinking about JC Jane, and she keeps saying like, everybody says I'm the most beatable champion in the entire world. And I was like,
Nick say it every show too.
I know, but here's what I want, right? I want her to go full JBL. I want her to win by accident.
Dude, she's about to become a double champion this week.
I know.
You know that, right? They're
Yeah.
doing a winner take all. JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, on their big TNA show. Like she's literally like, and I said this. Who did I say this to? I don't. Maybe I said to Dom on Twitter. But did you notice who she's paralleling right now?
No.
They gave her. They gave her a faction, literally a carbon copy of Mandy's. What did Mandy do, Nestlemania?
She was double champ.
She was a fucking double champion, and now her protege JC's doing it. I literally, I had a Tiffany epiphany. I was like, oh my god, they're trying to erase Mandy because I was WWE. I just thought that was a funny little note. So yeah, I know I agree with you. I think JC at this point, because now that Jordan and Blake are probably going to go against each other, I think JC's going to have some time here to like really be on top.
I just want to see her win by accident because that JBL run, the longer it went, the more interesting it got. And like I just remember him being like in a barbed wire steel cage match against the Big Show. And somehow the Big Show was supposed to fucking come out the stairs, but he took a second and he thought he won the fucking match. And JBL was just in like crimson blood. He went through the ring and crawled out, and they said that JBL won. And I'd still to this day remember that. And I'm like, that's the shit I want from JC Jane. Winning by accident would just incense the whole audience because they're going to want people to fucking beat her. And she, again, is very beatable. So I just, as much as the Blake and the Jordan thing is the headline.
That's kind of how this went. Like she didn't deserve this win. Yes. Jordan was about to win, but it's just like, that's how you do it. Huh. Plus she also has the two fucking stooges on the outside to help her out. Very attractive stooges.
Well, hey, cowboy up. That's all I gotta say.
Next up, Nestlemania, the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag titles. I thought this match was a blast. And the part that I actually loved, obviously we saw Charlotte have a very emotional article come out earlier in the week in the Players Tribune. The pops for her, this is how I knew. I'm like, this is a true wrestling crowd. These are true wrestling fans. You don't have the little dorky versions at AEW. You don't have the WWE like assholes like to come in and chant stupid shit. Like these are just pure fans that just love all wrestling and respect all the performers. Because that pop for Charlotte, when's the last time we heard that, dude? What the fuck's time we heard that? But that was awesome. Her and Alexa, like their entrance was super fun with the little like one up in each other. Like there's something here they have with it. The Kabuki Warriors, great to have them back. Zaruka, great as always. I mean, Soul's gonna be such a megastar. She just gets it. And then obviously Raquel and Roxanne getting the dub as they should Nestlemania, but I thought this match was an absolute blast as well.
Again, that's Soul Ruka. I don't want to give her too much credit, but like
I mean, don't curse her, please.
I won't. But
she's already torn one ACL.
I know. But like in my head, I was like, even Zario's like with having that little makeup, she still has great facial expressions, and I think she's a great foil for whenever that's going to transpire, which I'm looking forward to very much. Of course, the Kabukis, you can't hate them, and if, the other tag teams were great. I think Charlotte becoming a babyface based on the Alexa Bliss thing is so interesting to me, and they're building it. They're building it. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe Paris, whatever. But I think Charlotte is going to be like, I think she thinks she's supposed to be a babyface. She thought she was when she came back. Like they booed her, whatever. They talk about her divorces and shit. And like, that's rough. And like, she's always been one of the best to ever do it. She might be the best to ever do it. We don't know. But there's something about Alexa Bliss and her, as you said, that I think Triple H could feel and being like, this will work. And then eventually when this all breaks up, it'll do its thing. But yeah, I'm just very interested. And one other thing I wanted to say was, and someone saw this on Twitter and said it, and good night, Joseph. And so a lot of things that I want to say here, but I don't know if you saw this. Kevin Nash critiqued Raquel Rodriguez before the weekend. Did you see this?
Oh, she needs to wrestle bigger, and Raquel agreed.
And literally, the last couple outings she's had, she's been incredible. Like
Oh yeah,
absolutely incredible. So I
she's
think
on a
like
great run right now.
you want to talk about a cranky motherfucker. Instead of big sexy, they call him big cranky in his friend circle. Did you know that?
He can
So
be a guest on the Goldberg
I know the
Bret Hart podcast.
cranky old wrestlers, cranky old men. But seriously, like he might have invigorated. I mean, Raquel was already doing great, but I think like that was really important.
Sometimes everyone needs a push. Like even the greats need a push. Like you hear them talk about it all the time, but like it's just like it is what it is as part of it. Like it's because like we talked about Bailey earlier, and I'm not saying she's complacent because she's not, but it's just one of those things. Like it's not necessarily that you get complacent, but it's just like think about it like in any job, like apply it to yourself, like it happens. But sometimes you get a kick in the pants, especially from the right person. You're like, okay, and you refocus and you come out and it's like, oh, I am capable of this. Especially with what she's been through. Like, imagine the amount of doubt she probably had in herself coming back, overcoming what she overcame. Like something like that. Like any person would be. It's very normal to come out and like doubt yourself, and if you will do this again. So just what she's accomplished is just absolutely incredible.
Moving on.
Next up, this was the match I expected to fucking suck. Tiffy beats Trish in a surprisingly good match. Nestlemania didn't blow my socks off, but they fucking went for it. They fucking went for it. They were trying shit. They were executing most of it. This was a lot higher pace than I thought, but bravo, ladies, because look it, the lead up to this fucking sucked. Tiffy hasn't had a very good reign, in my opinion. Trish has been mostly a disaster in her like little returns here, but again, evolution. There was something up in the air that night because in Atlanta, because these two women put in a pretty good match.
I think it's sure her kids were there, so she probably felt the need to not fuck up. So I mean, we can say
I think these two have probably been training together like crazy.
Oh yeah.
They probably run this. I mean, it's a dream come true for any like young wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, not many people are going to be able to be in the ring with Trish Stratus, so I get that. But again, pleasantly surprised, over the moon for both of them because they deserve it.
Absolutely. Next up, Nestlemania, another one where you never know. But Jade and Naomi, this was another really fun match. It was violent. You get the Jaded through the table from the top rope, but Nestlemania, I mean, look, I feel like I've said it a couple times here with Jade, but I think this was probably her best outing. I think obviously the type of match definitely helps, and working with Naomi, who's just on a great run right now. But I thought this was a really fun match.
Well, they always tell you, and this is something that they've told me a long time ago. If you're injured or you're just, they have to hide something somehow, some way, whether you're deficiency or anything like that. A street fight, a no DQ match, whatever, always hides deficiencies. Not saying there's a lot of deficiencies with Jade specifically, but it certainly enhances certain things that Jade does really well. So that Jaded through the table looked fantastic. Jade's got the money look. She's got the money presentation. She has the character, the it factor, all that stuff. The wrestling has gotten a lot better. And like, there were some comical moments in it, but like I really enjoyed it. And I just thought like, it's always good to get a kaboom. So I just thought they did a great job like building and climaxing to the very end there. So I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. But next up, Nestlemania, La Primera. Hashtag JC no. She's going to Paris, baby. Picking up the big dub in the Battle Royal. Obviously, Lash was in the final two with her. She had a good showing. There was a lot of fun stuff in this match. I mean, look at Lola doing the Nikki. I enjoyed that. But my favorite part of this match, Nestlemania, was Michael Cole kept calling Candice LeRae, Candice Michelle. And then the best part was he like literally called himself out for it, and Wade called him out for it. Then he did it again 3 more times. I thought it was hilarious.
He's getting too old. He's getting way too old, but it is what it is. And it's only her. It's like, it's just like, it's terrible. But like Candice Michelle's not going to fucking be there unless they have Candice Michelle versus Candice LeRae. That'd be pretty funny. Then really
I would love Candice Michelle to be there.
Yeah, she had quite the entrance. I remember that. Let's have a moment of
something.
silence for that. No, look, I mean, Stephanie Vaquer won. We thought that was probably going to happen, or Nikki Bella. So we're happy that it's not Nikki Bella and that it's Stephanie Vaquer. And I will say this match, for someone that doesn't speak English as a first language, and she said wrestling is my first language, I was like, well, that's the fucking line of the night right there. And you can see the connection. You can see the connection people have with this woman. You don't want to put the cart before the horse with her, but
I will, because I don't curse people. She is the perfect wrestler. Like it's just like that's what you want, because she's a star. She fucking gets it, and she's actually really fucking good in the ring. And honestly, her like the way she does the promos, there's a reason why they keep giving her a mic, because she's so fucking endearing. It was one of those things. It was like when like Bianca started to talk as a babyface, when it started to click for her, it's just like, I'm never not going to root for this girl. It just like, I'm just not. It just clicked. It was the same thing. We kind of saw with Alexa Bliss too. Like when it just clicked, we were like, where the fuck did this come from? And with Stephanie, like it's been that way since the beginning. It just like from a girl that was a relatively unknown till she wrestled Mercedes, then comes over, signs with WWE, is just like, and it's just like boom, rocket ship. So stud.
All right.
Next up, Nestlemania. We're getting to the main event. Ripley versus Io Sky. This match was fucking amazing. They did everything. I mean, they had the most ridiculous ref bump ever, where they just fucking did crazy shit on the outside forever. But this will definitely be in match of the year. Right now, it probably is my match of the year. You know what's crazy about that Nestlemania? Neither of them won the fucking match, because out proceeding with caution, but not so cautious, was Naomi, who cashed in her Money in the Bank in one of the biggest shockers in a long time with that thing to win the Women's World Championship. We're also focused on Jade at SummerSlam, Bianca, this and that. But Naomi said, fuck that shit. Jade just put me down. I need a fresh start. I'm going to go over here and fucking take over this match of the year and end the best pay-per-view of the year with me on top holding up the title. Fucking bravo. This was perfect match, perfect cash in, perfect way to end an almost perfect show.
I was so happy because I kept thinking to myself, like, I just assumed Rhea Ripley was going to win, so that's fine. I'm loving that Rhea Ripley is continuing to chase and not get it, because I think, like we say, the chase is the money's in the chase, not the babyface winning and having the title, because after that, like, what do you do with it? So, and Naomi's been on such a great run. I hope she gets a real run here. I hope she doesn't just lose it right away, because she's this character that she has. Watching her laugh and be like, look at me now, bitches. Like, I just the way she is, you can tell she's having fun. She believes in herself. And when you believe, we believe in Joe Hendry, but we also believe in Naomi. I was just so excited. And I was just like, when it's contagious. Like, as fans, we live vicariously through these characters, through these wrestlers, and we cheer for them and we boo them. We shit on them and we love them. But you can see, you can earmark where she started and where she's now, and like losing her job, going to TNA, reinventing herself, coming back with a purpose, like having her husband, in a different promotion, and like all these things that just transpire to get her where she is. And this character came out of just necessity, I think, to just stay afloat. And it's not even just a character. In my opinion, right now, it's one of the best characters across wrestling in general, because it's three-dimensional. We can all kind of sympathize just a little bit with it, that she was kind of overlooked. She's the third wheel, and now she's the big fucking headlining star. I think that's wonderful for her. So we'll see what happens at SummerSlam, but I'm really, 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 really hoping that they give her shot.
I'm assuming, triple threat, we just saw it. I'm assuming she's going to retain, but you never know. I think it's eventually going to be Rhea's, but I think Naomi Stephanie's a fine match for Paris as well. Because I think it was just one of those things, like, the reason why I loved it so much is because it was such a surprise. Because we had this all mapped out in Nestlemania about her cashing in, but it's just like, this is a nice swerve. And then thinking about it, it's like, you know what? Her and Jade have been fighting for fucking like 8 months. So why do we need to keep doing that? Because she cashes in on Jade, guess what? It's going to keep going. And this also gets her away from Bianca, but it also now allows for the interesting dynamic we haven't gotten yet. Once we get through Jade and Tiffany, whether Jade wins the title or not, is Bianca and Jade. So, and it's one of those things, like, Naomi's still going to be there eventually, but it just, like, I think this was a nice little surprise pivot they did here.
All right. Overall, it is the best PLE of the year.
I would give it an A+.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was a perfect show.
Considering the buildup was dog shit.
Pretty much, yeah, except for one match. Yeah, it was.
So it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They might be shooting themselves in the foot, because they can see this formula of not building it properly and banking on the fact that some of these matches will end up being great. So I don't know. It's just,
yeah, look, that's the AEW method. It doesn't always work out, but I think for the most part, it's just like, I think we kind of talked about it last week. I think they just had too much going on, and they just, like, it was impossible to build it all correctly because they were spread too thin. But we'll see. They have a rush job here to SummerSlam, but we're going to get into the Shine Nestlemania. Always in the Shine, much like Mandy Rose, who will not be erased, as Joe mentioned in the chat earlier. Never erased. But yeah, Nestlemania, I thought Lyra and Bailey was a fucking banger on Raw. 2 out of 3 falls. Lyra got the win, number 1 contender. But yeah, that was probably my biggest shine from Raw.
You forgot to say Becky Hogan came out.
Becky Hogan did come out. I left that for you. Cue it up. Dun, 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 dun.
I hope she starts doing the big boot, then the shitty leg drop. That's what I hope. That's what I really hope. It'd be fucking great. Something. Danny thinks I'm like in with these fucking people calling her Becky Hogan. I don't care. I just think it's hilarious. Like, and the fact that she's leaning into it, shows how good she is. Like, okay, you're gonna call me Becky Hogan? Fuck it, I'll do it. Like, I think it's great. Lyra did a great job. I mean, like we said, she seemed like Bayley was a stopgap there. So I don't know if Lyra's gonna get it back though, but she's doing everything she can possibly to stay relevant and staying on, the trajectory that she's on. So I give her all the props in the world, and it was a good wrestling match. So I'm happy with it.
Curious what other shine you had on the show, because obviously the OTC returning his shine, but
yeah. I mean, so the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I pointed out very quickly was like, I really love the Karrion Kross movie style promo. I thought that was really dope. And then like when he just said, "Don't return to work until you say that Karrion Kross told the truth," and I was just like, okay, cool. Now I have a reason to be interested in Sami Zayn when he returns. I don't know if he'll attack Kross. I don't know if Kross will get something going here, and then Sami comes back, like whatever the case may be. But it's super interesting off of one line, like tell the truth. And so I'm really into that because it's not, I don't need a lot to be excited. I just need something that is a kernel of truth that also can kind of explode into something better. The possibilities are endless with Kross because he's kind of like an ambiguous person. And I just really enjoy that aspect of a character when you're a little bit ambiguous and there's like, oh, he can work with this person or they can do this or they can do that. And that's the part that gets me excited as a fan, is when I can see the possibilities in my head. So I'm very excited for him. I'm excited for the possibility, which I don't know if it'll happen, but Sami Zayn as a heel to me is interesting too. If they could maybe potentially pull that off, especially now that we know what's happening with Seth Rollins, perhaps. You never know.
I mean, they fucking need heels, man. I mean, you see it. You see it on these shows. Like they need fucking heels. Like that gauntlet match, it was obviously pretty much all baby faces besides Braun, which is why Braun ran the fucking gauntlet until fucking he got filled. So
he got filled. Yeah, he did. Look in my eyes. You just got filled.
But then you know what? Everyone got filled by Put 'em Up. OTC came back. Nestlemania. That's obviously shine. I'm assuming we're getting Roman and Jay versus Braun and Bronson here at SummerSlam, because I think it was either going to be Seth Roman or a combination of Roman and Jay probably versus Seth and Braun was probably the match. So they obviously have to pivot a little bit here, and luckily they have a third man, so they can just throw in Bronson. But I don't know, a little bit of a mess.
It is a little bit of a mess, but I will say this much. I really loved when, the first part of the night, it sounded like a lot like Heyman didn't really have his best outing in terms of talking. But then later when he came out to confront Gunther and said the fact that he's like, this guy is the next big thing. This guy is the big dog. This guy is in his yard. I was like, that's great based on everything he's done. Mark Calloway was a Paul Heyman guy. Brock Lesnar was a Paul Heyman guy. And of course, Roman Reigns was a Paul Heyman guy. So it's just funny to use those catchphrases on the newest Paul Heyman guy. It's just, it works. It's great. And I am curious to see what they do with it because, we're kind of in like uncharted waters here.
Yeah. I mean, we got 2 more Raws, I think, till SummerSlam. So I don't have much time, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Any other shine?
Let's get to the heat. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Now, look, you're going to think that I'm a hater. I probably am. Nikki Bella needs a lot of work.
This match was bad.
This was really bad.
The ending to this fucking match was so bad.
Do you want to know why? Because she forgot that the rack attack was the reason she broke her fucking neck. Mid fucking move. And she moved it. And I was just like, but there were things before that I was just like, holy shit. Chelsea is going out of her way for this. But it is just not. And Stephanie Vaquera in the red pants helped, obviously, but it just
helped.
Woo! Well, saved it, whatever. But like,
God bless that woman.
But
she needed Stephanie Vaquera to save her, though.
I know. Like, I was sitting there going, like, here's the thing. How does Phil Brooks get? And I'm not a Phil Brooks like hater or lover or whatever, but like, this guy is a very polarizing person and will say shit. And then they'll use it against him. Nikki Bella shit all over the WWE for like a year.
No, yeah. That's why I buried her when she came back.
Well, like, it's just like, what the fuck? And like, I'm just going to say this. The evolution part of her in the Royal Rumble or whatever, the Battle Royal, didn't go very well. The fucking match that she had with Chelsea was not very good. It's just like, and Chelsea did a great fucking job. But it was just like, listen, we were joking about Bill Goldberg not being in the same class. Newsflash, Nikki Bella, You're not even on the second or third level compared to the people that they have now.
Well,
You're
I will
on
say
the,
to her credit, she said she's like, I need to find my place in this new crop because it is so different. Like it just, and like I think she knows it too. She knows she like obviously fucked up that ending sequence. So hopefully that motivates her if she wants to keep doing this to come back more whatever her saying is, fearless or whatever.
but she's not good.
Yeah, she isn't. But
She
again,
might as well.
she's a huge star. People love her.
Right.
So if she wants to do stuff, they will let her do stuff. And pretty much every woman in that locker room will line up to fucking work with her. So
yes,
it is what it is.
But if I was going to look in the mirror, I'd put in the work.
I mean,
put in the fucking work.
Maybe she is, but it's like, look at Nestle. Let's be real about it. She was a lot better than Brie, but she was never fucking that amazing anyways. Like she got a lot better, but it's just like, it's one of those things. Like, I think it is what it is. And so that's why it's not a title. There's a reason why she's wrestling Chelsea Green in a one-on-one match on Monday and not wrestling in Paris.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
My biggest heat of the week.
Yes. Go ahead.
Wyatt's won the titles.
I know. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah,
it's like it's a death of a tag division that was super red hot.
Yep.
And now they're heels.
Yeah, like, that was the way I wanted to ask you about. It's like they kind of were heels.
Yeah, but like, weren't the Street Profits kind of heels?
Well, they always start to make them heels, and they like don't commit to it.
Yeah, because Montez Ford is doing this on the fucking.
Remember
apron.
they stuck on with Bobby, and they were going to be heels, but they were so over. They like it just. I don't know. They don't like. The tag division, it just now that we're back to 2 hours, it's a complete fucking shit mess again, even though there's so many good teams.
I'm just upset. I'm just upset over the whole tag team division in general. Like when I saw, I'm like, fucking A. Like, and like the fact that they had to have fucking Harper, was it Eric Harper? Yeah. Rowan, excuse me. Help him. Eric Rowan help him. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I'm not happy when it comes to the tag division in general.
You call up Fraxium, and then you have the fucking Wyatts win the title.
Mm-hmm. Stupid.
You put Andrade and Phoenix together, and then you have the Wyatts win the titles.
Right. Stupid.
You sign the Motor City Machine Guns, and then you have the Wyatts win the title. You have the Street Profits get the big win, and then they have a really short reign and lose to the Wyatts, and they win the titles. You have DIY whatever. You get the point.
Yikers. Anything else you want to get the hell out? You want to go?
The only other note I have is I'm curious how you feel about R-Truth jobber alerting Aleister Black.
Maybe they ran out of time. And like
this is by design, but I didn't like it. Did you like it?
I mean, I don't love it, but I did like the idea of like Priest and him going at it and getting hot and like, okay, like
I mean, Priest and Black, I want to see. They've been
I think the thing is
that should be the SummerSlam match. There's room on SummerSlam for them to have a one-on-one match.
I think that would be fun. Here's the thing. As much as I love R-Truth and he's just a great character, I think people were right about like, well, he was the flavor of the week, and now what? So
I told you that exact thing was going to happen when it was.
It's true. I mean, I think that's the issue, that if we're all being realistic and calling ourselves on the carpet here, like it's great to have him there. He's a company guy, he's a morale guy, but like
I like him as a comedy guy, and now he's like being, you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm glad that he's still there because I love R-Truth, but this character I don't really give a fuck about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't like him as a serious guy. I don't know if there's room for him, like as a serious guy as part of the show. Like the reason why he was so good is he made the most of his little comedy segments and like made himself part of the show by doing that. But like with this type of character, it's like there's 8,000 guys that have this type of character, dude, and they're all younger and more athletic than you.
Sorry. Let me throw this out here, and hopefully Dom's still in the chat because I'd be curious what Dom thinks, because he's a TNA guy. He's an original NWA TNA champion.
Yeah.
Why not take this character over to TNA? And let him go for the TNA title. Like, let him do that.
Him and Trick would be a feud I'd be down for. But here's the thing. They probably just re-signed for so much money. They're not going to want to have him working down at NXT. They want him on the main roster.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying,
not working for TNA.
Just give him a shot at something. I don't know. I just feel like him as the old school TNA champion would just be an interesting little nugget. That's all. I'm just thinking,
if he's still here in a year, maybe they do that. But I think right now it's like you just gave him a big contract to re-sign. Like he has to be on the main roster, else you're not getting the
money's worth. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Shall we get to our hope?
Glorious.
You're my only hope. Now, we were going to have hopes, but we decided because there is a matter of an injury here with Seth Rollins, we're going to kind of live up the scenarios. If anybody in the chat has an idea too, please, play along with us. But I'm just sitting here thinking to yourself, okay, so Saturday night we have Seth Rollins doing, by the way, Seth Rollins doing that stupid fucking flippy fucking forward Habusa backs. Like he's trying to be Habusa. And he's like doing the backflip in the front. He's like the senton into the backflip. He fucking hurt his knee last time doing that shit. And he didn't learn his fucking lesson. He's fucking stupid. He's fucking stupid. Because here's the thing. You are already over. You are already one of the best wrestlers going right now. And then you do
Best
stupid
wrestler
shit
alive.
like he is seriously not like he might be best for business. He might be one of the best people backstage. I'm sure he's a lovely person. But like, how fucking stupid do you have to be to do a fucking move over again? Like, don't fucking do the move. So like, that's it. I don't know. I just feel like it frustrates the fuck out of me because in theory, my head is he fucked up all sorts of plans here. If he's gone 9 months, JC, can you do the math there? 9 months.
Is that WrestleMania?
Well, we'll say July, August, September, October, November, December, right? January, February, maybe March.
Yeah.
He might slide in right before WrestleMania.
Oh no, no. He has the Money in the Bank contract, Nestlemania. He should fucking do what he did last time. Fucking cash in and win the title that night. It would be a massive pop. We love full circuit moments here on the Jobberknocker, tpublic.com/Jobberknocker. Get yours today. But it's one of those things. Like I know CM Punk's fighting for the title at SummerSlam. That's why, like I alluded to earlier, like it would be the ultimate swerve if this was a work to have Seth come out and like have faked an injury and cash in on CM Punk when he beats Gunther. But I think it's more likely that as of right now, I think if just because we're so far away, like CM Punk wins the Rumble. CM Punk's moment is next year to win one of the titles, and he wins the fucking title, or Seth Cat. Well, the whole point of Seth is that he doesn't let him win, is that maybe he makes it a triple threat and pins CM Punk like he did before. Like that would be my optimal scenario.
This is another thing that you just said, JC, that perked into my brain.
Ooh,
right. Listen to this, right? I'm not saying it's the work, but if it is, do you remember last week, JC, that Paul Heyman stated they were like, "Hey, where's Seth? He's already on the private jet working on Plan B." Perhaps Plan B could be that he fakes an injury to make us think he's gone for a very long time just to show up and fuck Phil Brooks at SummerSlam. What a fucking moment that would be. To think that you got the devil off your back. He's perfectly fine. Like, imagine the thought process of doing that. That would be next fucking level if that's true. Like, I think that'd be insane.
It would be crazy. I just don't. They're like if that wasn't real, then that was the best fucking realism we ever saw like that night.
I'm sure it is real, but
the way it played out,
there is a part of me that really truly wants that to happen. Him to fucking pull the wool over everybody's eyes. I truly do. But I look at this
in theory, I would think that, but I also would like him to be gone for a while.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Good. If there's a scenario, JC, where he cannot come back in time to cash in the briefcase, let's say it's like he is going to be out 16 months or something.
Yeah, it's till July, so yeah, it would be a year almost.
What do you do in that scenario? Do you
give it to Braun fucking Breaker?
There you go. Do you give it to Braun Breaker? Do you have the inmate?
That's what happens when Seth comes back. He comes back as a babyface against Braun Breaker.
Okay, that's fair.
Good scenarios here. There's a lot of good scenarios.
Could you give it to it? Maybe a Bronson Reed? I don't know. Probably not. But
fuck that, Braun Breaker. Okay.
You don't want to give it to the Tsunami Boy?
One is far greater than the other, and I love Bronson Reed, but he's not fucking Braun Breaker. The future of this fucking industry. Okay. Do you know how many WrestleMania main events him and Obafemi are gonna have?
Oh boy.
The amount of fucking JC gasms as I watch that. Woo! Meat!
That man's gonna turn red from the waist below. But look, I don't know. I just there's something inside of me that thinks if he's gone, like, you got to give the briefcase up at some point, right?
Yeah, but he does have till July, which is the thing. Is like he just won it like pretty much a month ago.
Yeah.
But not even. When was Money in the Bank? It was either end of June
I think they
this
said
year?
till June or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just like he has like I would assume he's back on that timetable. But no, my first instinct was, oh, they should just have Braun use it to cash in, then Seth comes back. But then I realized I'm like, shit, he has like a full year. So it also works very well as when he comes back, he cashes in and wins the title that night. Like,
but it makes you, but it makes
you don't
wonder.
know when to expect it, you know?
Yeah, but it makes you wonder though, like how much of the plans were fucked.
Oh, they definitely were. You saw it on Monday.
Yeah. So
Roman Reigns returning without Seth Rollins is not as fucking interesting. Luckily, Braun was the one who murdered him, so they can sell it like that when they set up their little tag team match here. But like, it's not the same as fucking Seth and Braun versus Roman and Jay. Bronson isn't Seth Rollins. I'm sorry.
No.
I love Bronson Reed. I like him better than Seth Rollins, but that's just my personal bias. Nothing to do with star power and ability.
All right. Should we get to our comeback?
Don't call it a comeback, Nestlemania. Mine is I'm going to AEW.
What?
All Elite. So first off, I'll reveal the shirt. It's All Elite baby for our boy Adam Cole. He's been an absolute disaster in AEW, but like the dude can't catch a break. He was a TNT champion, was supposed to wrestle Kyle Fletcher, and obviously wasn't cleared to compete. I guess he got hurt at some point, concussion issues, and there are things that we're seeing that he wanted to just come out and outright retire because he was so bummed out by this. Like, this guy hasn't been able to catch a break, and so we wish the best for Adam Cole. Come back better, stronger, and rooting for you as a human being too, dude. But my comeback is going what the surprise that we got because of this sad injury, and that is Dustin Rhodes finally completing his story and winning the TNT Championship, Nestlemania, in Texas, where he's fucking from. This was awesome. I never even considered it. It was such a cool fucking moment. I absolutely adore Dustin Rhodes. As a Cody guy, you know, I love Dustin too. They're just fucking studs. So I was cool that he got to have this moment. I think he's a fucking triple champion now because I think and Sammy are double champions of Ring of Honor. So Dustin's draped in gold, baby. But I mean, look it. No one like cares as much and works as hard as the fucking natural. So for him to get that moment, I fucking loved it, and it's comeback worthy. So Dustin Rhodes, you get my comeback.
My comeback from one old fogey to another. I could not pop any harder on Saturday night when I saw Ernest the Cat Miller. I was like, somebody call my mama, call him my mama. And then just like, I love Ernest the Cat because he's actually a lethal weapon, but he's also one of the most entertaining some bitches I've ever seen in my goddamn life. So when I saw him coming out as one of the entourage people for Bill Goldberg, I was like, fuck yeah, let's go, Cat. Doug Dillinger was there banging on the fucking door, and you got DDP, you got Gage. I'm just like, this was what a great, but I kept staring at Ernest the Cat Miller, folks, and I kept thinking to myself, that guy looks incredible. Put him in the fucking ring. Fuck Bill Goldberg. Give me Ernest the Cat Miller. That's my comeback.
It was fun. His entourage was fun. They had the WCW security guy there and all that shit too. That was cool. Big old finish, Nestlemania. The only thing for SmackDown announced, is a Cody and Cena face-off. So we're getting right back to that. I'm excited for it. Only a couple weeks to build here, but they're getting right into it on Friday.
I have low expectations. We'll see what happens.
On Raw, they did say that they will decide the number one contenders for the tag titles, but no details. So not much to preview there. But Nestlemania, we go to the big old finish. Would you like to talk about Great American Bash, or would you like to talk about All In?
Let's do GBA or JAB. There we go. Great American Bash. Let's just
we started off hot, Nestlemania. We had Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. You know how JC feels about the big little matchups. Jasper looks fucking great, by the way. There's a reason why he's on television and on PLEs already, and the fucking winner of the women's isn't, because this guy was ready for prime time and they picked the wrong fucking winner in the women's. But Jasper Troy gonna be a stud. But I mean, look at Javon, dude. He's bouncy and he's one of my favorites in NXT right now. He's a blast to watch. Gets the roll up win here, but this is a fun match.
Listen, I don't know much about the big boy there. So when I mean, I've watched him, but like I don't watch LFG. I don't have a time for doing that. So I love Javon Evans. I think he's great. I'm curious what his promos are going to be like once he hits the main roster.
Oh, I love his promos. They're just so real.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope to Christ he gets a fair shake. But yeah, the big guy,
he's Ricochet, bro.
I know.
He's like Ricochet, but he's like younger and cooler.
Yeah. Fair enough. But the big boy with the chains, I was just like, he looks fine now, but I feel like he looks like a creative wrestler. And so like, I'm waiting to see the next iteration of what he can do.
Yeah. He hasn't had much time to really refine the gimmick. It's kind of like, this is what he had in LFG and whatever. So they're just kind of rolling with it, but it's one of those things like they'll continue to tweak it, but he's gonna be a stud. Next up, Nestlemania, we had the Women's North American Championship. Sol Ruka defeats Izzy Dame, and Sol still remains a double champ.
Izzy Dame's not showing me much, I'll be honest. I mean, it was a good match, but I just feel
I like her
uh,
character work, but yeah, in ring,
yeah, in the
really
ring,
there.
she's not there. And of course, wrestling ability is not sexually transmitted, so that's not gonna fucking happen. But what? I mean, the fucking AJ Lee said it best, right? So that's what it is. No, but look, I mean, she clearly has a look, but she leaves a lot to the imagination when it comes to wrestling. That's all. All right.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Sol Ruka is Sol Ruka. I mean, what the fuck, right?
Sol's the fucking future. Next up, my favorite match on the card. Ethan Page defeats Ricky Saints with an ego's edge off the stage through a table. This match was a fucking blast, but this finish was one of the best moments of the weekend.
I love that they were battling through the Concord, or like the Concord, or whatever you call it, but like the Concord. Thank you. I can't talk. I'm tired. Just all the other things they were doing in there, and just like the little back and forth, and like the backdrop on the steel chairs, like the top of the steel chairs was nice. Doing all these random things. I just thought they did a fantastic job. And like you said, chemistry's off the charts. I think both of these guys have kind of like done everything they can do in an NXT. Let's just move these puppies up after SummerSlam. Let's move them up.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point soon. Next up, Nestlemania, we had Obafemi retaining his title against, I can't remember the guy's name.
Obafemi is really fucked because he's running out of people that make it. Like, if Josh Briggs is the next fucking person, nothing against Josh Briggs.
That's going to be a TV match.
But, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's the curse. Like, he won't have a problem on the main roster because there's some big bigs up there. But, like, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, they just don't have enough people. They just don't have enough people to keep the satiation.
He's beating the three other guys.
Yeah,
so just like until they have Ricky challenge him, there's nobody. So he's just gonna run through cans.
I don't know, man. It's just I think here's the thing.
I'm not worried about him at all because it doesn't.
No. Once he gets to the main roster, it's gonna be fine. I just feel like for NXT right now, we are just treading water in the men's like upper echelon right now, with the exception of Stark and Page. But like, man, it hurts my feelings because he's such an intangible. Like, you can watch him and go like, well, that's a guy that's going to be a fucking star no matter what you do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens because he's a big boy in there. They're running out of things to do with him, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Jasper Troy on like his fucking second night on NXT was challenging for the title, just because, is what it is. But then we had the main event, which not really much to say here, was the tag match. Blake Monroe's debut. She got the big win. As expected, but the big turn obviously happened at Evolution.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Shall we talk about
All In? Well, we're not doing the fucking pre-show. That's a fucking rule in this show.
I didn't watch the pre-show. Why would I ever talk about the pre-show? All
right, so let's start. The Ops were defeating the Death Riders in the trios match. 14.
Next.
Okay.
Don't fucking care. Skip.
Okay. MJF wins the Casino Gauntlet match. So let me just say this before you go off on a tangent, because you watched the whole thing. I only watched parts and clips and other things. So I will bend to you and your opinion here. MJF winning, called it. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense there.
We both did. Yep.
And so that makes perfect sense to me. I will say this much. Tony Khan, I give him a lot of shit. I really thoroughly enjoy these Casino Gauntlet matches because they're just a little bit different and a little bit like the match type just really interests me. I always love new things. So these matches, if you give me more of these matches, I'll enjoy it. So it happens every year at All In, and that's fine. But MJF won, right guy won. Thank God it wasn't fucking Roddy. That's all I got to say.
It's the Royal Rumble, so it's all good. Like, it just these are fun matches, like you said. I think MJF was an obvious winner. I would like one of these time for the match just to end really quickly, especially now since you have a men's and a women's. But I don't think they'll ever do that because it always ends up being like 14 people. But the reason why I think this is so unique to like a Rumble is because as the ring fills up, it becomes a lot less interesting because they can't really do anything. But in this match, it's just like everyone goes out and you're just having like random people have singles matches and they hit all their big spots until the next guy comes in. So it is a really fun match. And it's just like they've had it since the beginning and it's just continued to be good. But yeah, you had Juice Robinson return. You had Roddy Strong return. So it did what it had to do. But MJF picked up the dub as he should because he hurts people.
Moving on, you already talked about Dustin Rhodes. Or anything you want to add to that?
No, I only cared about him winning. It was awesome.
Okay. Swerve and Will Ospreay against the Young Bucks, 25 minutes, 50 seconds. Now, look, we give the Young Bucks a lot of shit on this program, but I will say this much. I really thought this was a great match. I thought the athleticism was off the charts. I always love when you can see like reversals into other things, into things you've never seen before. And the Bucks are good for that. Nick Jackson is in a fucking world of his own when it comes to this shit. You can say what you want about Matt, whatever, but like Nick Jackson is the fucking glue that holds the Young Bucks together. Swerve, and I'm interested to see what happens because Swerve now can challenge for the world title. I don't know. It's just Ospreay can do it too, but I don't know how you feel about that. JC, was it the right call for you?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
I think it's what I predicted too.
I don't know. I'm just curious. Like now with Hangman, you got like two other baby faces chasing him too, and an MJF. I don't know.
Well, MJF has a contract, so it's like more of a cash in. So, and like it's one of those where it's a little different. But we'll get to the main event. My thoughts on that, but no, like this match, I'll be honest, like I didn't really watch much of it because I think this was during the same time as NXT Great American Bash was still going, so it's probably during the main event. And if you give me a choice to watch Blake Monroe or these four, I'm watching Blake Monroe. But yeah, no, I think the right result happened.
Okay. Moving on, Athena won the women's casino gauntlet match, 27 minutes on the Dizot. I'm excited for Athena because I think Athena's been a fucking stud since the beginning. One of the best finishes in the entire world. And she's got a great personality. She believes in herself, and she's come back from like a crazy injury. So good for her. And she's been doing great work ever since. And I would think maybe she's the one that defeats Tony, but who knows at this point? So who knows?
I mean, they don't really have anyone else. That's why I was kind of thinking like Jamie Hayter or someone like that. But Athena, I think this kind of confirms that she's probably with AEW long term. They must have locked that up if you're giving her a win like this. But yeah, I had the same thoughts. Like, I think she was a good winner, and I think she is the person who will likely beat Toni Storm.
All right. Moving on, the Hurt Syndicate making quick work, JK LOL, of Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. 18 minutes, 40 seconds now. Obviously, the Hurt Business needed to win this because who the fuck was going to win? It was really the story afterwards, JC, that everybody was talking about. So,
yeah, Nick Wayne there turning on Christian. I mean, they've been teasing this for a while, and we always knew at some point Cope Dope and Christian were going to team up because the FTR is obviously the one who took out the Cope Dope. So we knew this was coming, but it was like, how the fuck do you do it? Christian Cage is like the most diabolical heel they did. I thought they did a good job here because you had the sun turn on him, the whole fucking Patriarchy. Mama Wayne was in on it. Like Kip was good with it. I don't know what happened to fucking Luchasaurus. You haven't seen him in like forever, but I think it made sense. And then the way they did it with Cope, because it's like they can't just like hug it out and do it. I love that it was like just like a simple thing, like find yourself. I'm like, okay, I can work with this. This makes more sense because if they just hugged immediately, it's like, dude, you can't do this. Dude told you to go fuck yourself. He tried to kill you, but they're obviously, whenever the next pay-per-view or a big event is going to be, it's going to be FTR versus these two. It's the dream match for these four men. So it's definitely happening. But I love that Christian has some work to do to get back in the good graces here. So at least it just isn't an instant thing, which is what I expect from AEW, but I want to give them kudos for how they did this.
How'd you feel about the long edge entrance?
I mean, look, I'm every time like Penta does it, you do a run and you fucking go, and yeah, it's typical. Like it, but it just like, I mean, Jeff Hardy does the same shit. Like
I mean, anybody that does it, it's like, Jesus Christ, guys, like you really need to hit your fucking pyro pose. Come on, save your fucking friends, would you? But it is funny. Moving on to the next thing, Timeless Toni Storm defeats Mercedes Moné by pinfall. 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Unfucking believable.
If Evolution didn't exist, this would have been one of the best matches of the weekend, especially a women's match. This match was fucking awesome. I do think Rhea and Io one up them, but I thought this match was great. Mercedes taking too many spots there on her fucking neck, got her fucking bell run, but it's just like, it's one of those things like, I'm not going to fully blame Tony for it because, Mercedes wanted to take these fucking moves too, but it just like, could we be a little more careful here? But obviously they wanted to like have a big punctuation mark because it's Mercedes' first loss in the company. So it's a big fucking deal.
I got to say, the press conference afterwards had me in stitches when she said, Mercedes, you were tasty, all four of your lips. And I was just like, Jesus Christ.
They did the spots, yep.
Jesus Christ. Toni Storm, you're just a fucking treasure. Moving on, Kazuchika Okada, the Continental Champion, taking on Kenny Omega, and the International Champion. Winner takes all, unify him to make him the unified champion. A fucking belt that nobody cares about. And, Okada
two belts that nobody cares about and the one belt that nobody cares about.
And guess what? It probably didn't live up to the hype, did it? No, it didn't. So there you go. Entrances were cool as fuck, though.
I truly don't care, but I was surprised that Okada won. But I truly do not care about this.
Something about Kenny Omega sounds like I'm on the back nine of my career. And I don't know how much longer I got. So, and honestly, here's the thing. Kenny Omega can take a loss. Okada needed the fucking win. Because Okada's been fucking shit. Yeah. He's been shit since he's been here.
Don't disagree with that.
Rainmaker, he is not. He's a puddle. Puddle at best.
Jesus Christ.
Moving on. The main event. Hangman Adam Page taking on Dictator Jon Moxley. 35 minutes, 55 seconds by chokeout submission in a Texas death match in Texas. JC, your thoughts?
It's one of the dumbest fucking matches I've ever watched in my life. Between the fucking unnecessary fork stabs immediately and all this bullshit that comes with that. And then it's just like AEW is not good at doing run-ins. They feel so much less than. That fucking little bitch comes out in a mask after he fucking retired like 2 months ago and put us through this awful retirement tour just to come back. The only cool part was fucking Darby from the Sky with the fucking Mount Everest video. Like I popped for that, but it's just like whatever. It's cool for Heyman to win in Texas. It's definitely an awesome moment. I'm super happy for him, and I'm super happy that the fucking title comes out of the bag and the Moxley reign of terror is over. But it just like, I don't know. I did not enjoy watching this at all. I thought this was fucking disgusting, like all these matches usually are. Didn't really enjoy it, but I'm glad it's over.
You were a little forthcoming with Mr. Bryan there.
You're just trying to get a clip here. But yeah, that fucking fraud. He is an absolute fucking fraud. This fucking loser makes this big fucking deal about his retirement and then fucking has to wheel his ass back so he can fucking wrestle Wheeler Yuta again probably in a fucking loser leave home match that I hope they tie in so they both fucking go home. I just can't with this guy. It's just like, at least wait a little longer if you're going to fucking Undertaker it, you fucking fraud. But it's just like, if you go through, it'd be like if Cena fucking did the same thing, like started wrestling like fucking 6 months after he put us through a year retirement tour, I'd fucking bury his ass too. But you know what? He's not going to do that because he's not a fucking fraud like Daniel Bryan. Get the fuck out of here. I just can't.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a comparison to this. There were a lot of run-ins and a lot of people getting involved, and personally, I think Cesaro was the worst part of this entire thing, killing Will Ospreay. I thought it was the shits.
Yeah.
But the thing that made me laugh was like, there's a comparison to Cody Rhodes and the Avengers helping Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. And this match where everybody was trying to help the Hangman. And, Swerve really helped him at the end.
Watch them back to back and tell me if you think they're the fucking same. They took an idea that worked really well with the story and tried to apply it to their shittier story with shittier people. And guess what? It was fucking mid. It's like, anyone can do that. This was a very WWE ending. WWE does this shit all the time with run-ins and whatever, but like theirs are just so much more smoothed out and like thought out. Like this match, like it's most like most AEW things. They do too much. They have this violent match where these dudes are fucking stabbing each other and murdering each other. And then you have 1,000 run-ins. It's just like, it's too fucking much for any brain to process. It's just like, they do too much. They save nothing like after. Cause now it's like, okay, now what? WWE always has things ready. I'm not so sure AEW does. Because like you said, are we just going to have babyface matches until MJF cashes in? Sure as hell feels like it. Who are the fucking heels that are going to challenge Hangman besides Moxley? Who I'm assuming is taking time off.
This is the same thing we came in with the first Adam Hangman Page run.
Yeah. I respect the hell out of Hangman, but I obviously didn't predict him because I didn't think I thought it would make more sense for someone else. But again, I'm not mad about it because this Moxley reign is just...
Here's the thing, though. Like, we can talk about how bad the Death Riders were, but like, at least we're all gonna
how bad they are because they're not.
I'm hoping it's over. I'm hoping it's over.
Dreaming.
But listen, it's gonna be a thing. The end. You know what I mean? Like, Hangman's gonna have this thing for a while, so I wouldn't bet against him. Not now.
Give me MJF sooner rather than later.
I know. Overall, not a fan of AEW All In, huh?
No, it was a fine show. There were definitely some good moments. I really truly did enjoy Tony Mercedes. I enjoyed other parts of it. I obviously loved the Dustin moment. So I think it was definitely a solid pay-per-view. It's just the main event, I feel like it's been a trend with their things. I've just hated their main events because this Moxley reign has been such shit. But hopefully now we can move on from it and have better shit.
Okay. You want to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Right,
And Nestlemania, I'm so exhausted from 4 shows on this weekend. I'm taking a week off, bitches. Peace out.
I guess I got to find somebody else to host next week. All right. So anyway, on that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week, or at least I will, with some more Jobber Knockery.